especially if there's just even one person on it, right? Now, this is where, let's follow my logic. Remember, think with me, not like me. Just follow my logic, right? Did anybody read that earlier this week there was a story in some of the science technology that we have, they have found a planet that is made out of diamond. Anybody see it? A couple of you see this? All right. So there's a planet that we have now been able to determine that is roughly the mass of Jupiter, by the way. just saying. It's not the size of Jupiter, it's the mass of Jupiter. But it's so if it condensed down, we think it's carbon, and it must be in crystalline form. Now, it's going around a neutron star or something extremely dense, so the likelihood, but it's not very far away. I mean, in the grand scheme of things. What if it were to somehow break away from its orbit around this neutron star and come cascading at us and land in the parking lot? We have lots of diamonds now, folks. What's the value? Is Earth now somehow enriched?
No. But
Earth is not enriched. So translate, I mean, I used that diamond just because it was in the news, but an asteroid made of gold. Gold only has value because we agree. Because we agree that it does. Now, I'm not saying that that's the worst thing, but what I am saying is that you have to take that into account. Everything is really fiat money, meaning let do. Let it so it be, because we agree universally. Right? Now, this might shock you a little more. I'm going to go back to my chart that we put up. All right? And I'm going to reveal a hidden column. Argentina, Brazil, China, Denmark, England, whatever the sequence was. Do you care if you had a surplus with these guys? No. Do you care if you had a deficit with these guys? No. The numbers all went up. By the logic of exports are good, imports are bad, we should all hope that all ships sink at sea. Why do we not hope that ships sink at sea? Because we want the other merchandise coming in. I personally think it's like a great deal we have going. We send the Chinese green pieces of paper, they send us TVs. It's like a letter to Santa. Dear Santa, send me a TV. And it shows up. It's a great deal. What are they going to do? Eat them? No. You say they might trade them back for more grain or whatever. Yeah, and who's going to create more grain? Who has the largest output of agricultural products in the world? We do. At a certain point, see, this is my point. When you hear the words on TV, trade deficit, ignore them. It is not the same as the deficit in Washington. It's not the same. The word is the same, but it's confusing you. And I submit to you that it is purposely confusing you. Right? It is on purpose to confuse you, to think deficit bad. You just proved that it's not. What about, well, the Chinese are not trading fair? Who cares? We still want their stuff more. Governments don't trade. People do. You want a TV. You want an iPod. You want a chair. People trade, not governments. What does it matter if we add up the sum total of a country? People trade. Can you make a decision that you want to buy American stuff? Yeah. How about it? That's great. That's a beautiful thing. But don't force me or anyone else to say that you have to buy this. You can. By the way, define American car for me. There are only 4 automobiles that are more than 75% sourced and built in the United States of America. 2 of them are Toyotas. The Toyota Tundra and the Camry. 1 of them's a Honda, I don't know what model, and the Ford F-150 truck, of course. But those are the only 4 cars that are 100%, that are more than 75% sourced and built in the United States of America. All right? I actually had an exchange with Christy over here today about sort of this topic on this. She bought something. I don't know, what did you buy?
Okay, I bought an iPhone from Costco.
An iHome.
And it had an American flag on it.
Yeah.
I like to buy American whenever possible.
Okay.
And you look closer, and then it said actually it was made in China, but engineered in America.
Yes.
But-
Which is exactly, by the way, what is on the back of every single one of these puppies. Okay? And it's too small for me to read. I'm 45 now. I'm pretty sure it says designed by Apple in Cupertino, California, assembled in China.
Yes.
That's what it says. Okay. So
But there's no big American flag on it.
Yeah, well, that I think is.
That was shady.
But listen. But let's talk about this. Would you rather live? You had a choice between the two. You had a choice. Would you rather live in the country that designs this,
Yes.
or the country that assembles this? Well, both is not a choice in this case. I'm giving you an argument. But even if you try to push that far, okay. So let's just examine this for a second. This puppy, this is one of the $500 job. It's like my company bought it for me, so I'm spending other people's money. And when you spend other people's money on yourself, you're not as careful with it. Yeah. Right? See Milton Friedman. All right. When you spend other people's money on other people. That's, yeah, and it's good. By the way, just quick side note, I tend to go on tangents, but I do have a solution, I think, and I really want to pass this law. We should change the salary of those in Congress, and I kid you not, to give them a 0.1% bonus for everything that they cut from the budget, from the baseline. They would be millionaires. I don't freaking care. Do you know what that would do? Isn't that a great idea? Change the salary, and at 0.1%, anything they cut, they divide evenly among the 536 of them. Throw the president there too. We'll give him, The Supreme Court's justices, no, they got a job for life. We're going to pay them a straight salary. All right. But this thing comes to us as a $150 export from China, $150 import to the United States. It retails, of course, for $500. AT&T then purchases about 200 of that off because they want me to use their service plan, which stays where, by the way? Yeah, okay, and then, so this came in as 150, so it's down and out of 300, right? So 300. The $300 now came in as a 150, so what does Apple take? 150. Where did this come from? Okay, well, we go back $5 in China. The manufacturing of this, because it's sourced, and they just put it together. They just put it together. That's all they do, right? And they send it over here. The manufacturing that stays in China is $5. Everything else goes to, there's about $45 in parts that go to Japan and Singapore and some other places where the parts come from, right? So there's more than that. But all the rest of it stays here, all right? Look, manufacturing. I got a slide for you. I'm out of order here, but that's all right. I got a slide for you because this makes me, I can't figure this one out. All right, go this. Everybody is completely and totally freaked out by the graph. You can't read it on the bottom right. Everybody's freaked out over this. The two lines are here. The blue line descending here is manufacturing jobs